We're going to merge two sorted lists. So we have two lists and then we just merge them so that they're still in order. So as you can see here, it's pretty straightforward to understand. And we still have quite a few companies asking this as well. I'm just going to draw out how this approach is going to be. We're first going to make a empty node. So just initialize a node, and then we're going to compare each linked list to each other. So for example, starting off with the first element 1, 1, since they're equal, we're just going to take and connect it to this one. And then if, for example, this is list 1, we're going to move the head of list 1 to the next list 1 element. So now we're comparing this node and this node. And we realize that this node is less than 2. So what we have to do is we have to delete this link and then link it there. And then we just keep comparing. So, we have this. Then it kind of becomes like this kind of deal where we're just kind of re-linking these two lists together so that they're in order. Let's get into the code. We're going to initialize a new list node. So we're going to call this dummy since it's the dummy node. And then we're going to set that equal to list node. And then we're going to start a loop. Now the condition for this loop is list 1 and list 2 have to both be not null. So we're going to say while list 1 and list 2. And then we're just going to do the conditions that I specified when I was drawing it earlier. So first check if list1.val is less than list2.val. That means list1.val should go first. Also, another thing, we need to keep track of the current node that we're on so that we can, add the comparison node to it. So I'm going to make a cur, and that's going to be equal to dummy. And this is what we'll be incrementing because we do want to keep dummy so that we can still keep track of the head of the final list that we return. So getting back to this condition, we now can say cur.next equals list1. The else condition for this is that the node from the other list will be added. So we do cur.next equals list2. And we can't forget to increment the respective nodes. So list1 equals list1.next, and then list2 equals list2.next. And at the end, we also have to increment our cur. So cur equals cur.next. And then at the end, since we have a condition for both of these lists to be non-null when we go through that loop, there's still a chance that at the end, we still have some kind of fragment of one of them remaining. So an easy way to fix that is to just say cur.next equals list1 or list2. So what this does is if list 1 is null, if we've exhausted all the nodes there, then it's going to get all the nodes from list 2. Otherwise, if they're both null, then it doesn't really do anything. So it just like appends whatever's left of either list onto the last node that we ended on. And then lastly, we return dummy.next, not dummy because dummy, we don't need the dummy node anymore. There we go.